Am I the a-hole for not accepting my sister's relationship with my ex despite her having cancer as a teenager? Interesting title. Originally posted to r/am I the a-hole on September 28th, 2021. My 25 female father married my stepsister's 23 female mother when I was 4 and she was 3. We lived together most of our lives and are a family. She and I were extremely close. She developed cancer when she was 14 and was sick for about 2 years. She since made a full recovery. During that time, my parents became understandably overprotective. They also asked a lot of me. I quit my extracurriculars so I could get a job. In parentheses, the money went towards her medical bills, and so I could drive her to the appointments. That's a lot to fucking ask of somebody when they're, what, 16? And it lasted 2 years, so from 16 to 18, you basically turned your child into an extra babysitter and an extra moneymaker. Yeah, bro, that's exactly how you raise kids. You enslave them. Like, listen, I get that, like, cancer treatment's expensive, but don't put that shit on your own kid. I didn't go to dances, and any fun activities I did needed to include her. I did almost all of this willingly, the exception being having to quit my high school volleyball team. I did throw a bit of a tantrum about that, but I was swiftly punished. And I think having one emotional breakdown was pretty chill given the circumstances. You were punished for being upset that your childhood was robbed of you. That's just evil, man. Anyhow, I go to college and meet my ex. We'll call him Ben. Chad, is this story about me? It can't be. I haven't hooked up with anybody's stepsister. Meet my ex. We'll call him Ben when I'm a junior. We fall in love, blah, blah, blah. He and I move in together when we graduate. So we've been living together for about 3 years. We were serious until July when I walked into my bedroom and saw him fucking my sister. I broke it off. Tears were shed. He moved out, etc. My sister apologized at first, but then backed off. I thought she was giving me space, but last week she called and asked if we could meet up. She told me that she and Ben were in love, and they were just telling me this as a courtesy before they started posting photos online. Distraught, I left her in the restaurant by herself and did not pay my portion of the bill. She later Venmo'd me asking for money. I'm sorry, bro. Did this fucking stepsister come out of Satan's ball sack and out of Lilith's cooter? Because what the actual fuck is this devil? Girl, you should be fucking Venmoing her for all the fucking money that you had to work for to pay for her cancer treatment to keep her alive just to cheat with your boyfriend. Wow. Just wow. She told my parents, who then called me to their house telling me how disappointed in me they are for not supporting my sister's relationship with Ben. They brought up the fact that because she had cancer as a teenager, she never learned proper social etiquette and has had a hard time meeting people. I don't buy this, in part because I've seen her socialize just fine, and since we spent a good chunk of the time she was sick together, that would also mean that I should have bad social skills as well by that logic. Y'all, the fucking monumental crash out I would have if my parents tried to say this shit to me. I would be sent on a grapey sock vacation. My brain would break. I would lose control of all my faculties. Because what do you mean? Oh, the fact that OP still keeps in contact with his family blows my mind. They then told me that if I don't accept my sister and Ben's relationship, they may have to go no contact with me. Well, they're threatening no contact with you? Oh my God. I reminded them that I'm also their daughter and they should understand my point of view, but they are adamant that this is about me being jealous of her. For the record, I'm not jealous of her. I'm not upset that Ben picked her over me. I'm sad about the end of the relationship and do feel betrayed, but Lord knows that I don't want to be with a cheater. What I'm upset about is the fact that my sister chose Ben over me. That she slept with Ben knowing he and I were in a long-term committed relationship and continues to be with him knowing how much it hurts me. Now no one in my immediate family is talking to me. I'm getting messages from aunts and uncles and cousins telling me that I'm an asshole and a selfish bitch. What fucking world does OP live in? How did you get literally the most evil family on this planet? Oh, I'm in pain, bro. I mean, shit, man. If they don't go no contact with you, you gotta go no contact with them, man. Just get rid of them all. Kick them to the curb. I mean, that just sucks that, like, now OP's completely alone. Like, the one person that could really support her, aka her boyfriend she lived with and has been in a long-term committed relationship with, that motherfucker also backstabbed her. Shit, honey. Press that block button generously and immediately sign up for therapy. That is all I can really say here. I don't think there's anything else to add. Okay, so OP added a quick little edit here before their first update. Thank you to everyone so much for your comments. This has gotten more attention than I expected, and I'm having trouble keeping up, so if I don't say thank you, then thank you. I've been given a lot of food for thought. To be honest, while I've had moments where I've been resentful or upset about my teenage years, I've always thought that I did the right thing for my sister and for my family. And that time wasn't all miserable. I was very close to my sister and we made things as fun as we could, but I didn't think of it as an abdiction of my parents' responsibilities or that they were doing wrong by me, which many of you pointed out. I definitely have a lot to think about. Thank you again for making me feel less crazy about all this. Okay, just a little thank you message. Nothing too crazy to add there. I am just speechless. Holy motherfucking golden child syndrome. Also, we didn't even point out the fact that this is OP's stepsister. Like, it makes more sense that the stepmom would choose her own child. But the fact that OP's own father is so spineless that he turned his daughter into a workhorse to help pay for the cancer that is his responsibility and become a second parent by driving her to the appointments, and clearly does not appreciate that, by the way. Like, I totally understand maybe being like, hey, I need help here. I was wondering if you could help. But like, if this is me, I'm like, I'm gonna make sure I spend the rest of my life paying you back every penny. If my 16-year-old took out a job to cover bills that I was supposed to cover, I would feel responsible until the day I get put 6 feet under to make sure that I at least try to pay back that money. And then on top of that, just disrespecting the fuck out of her. A lot of men who get remarried become shitty to their birth children. That's just some evil shit. For what? OP did include an update on the actual post, and then they followed up with another update a little over a week from the original post. So let's do the comment update first. Update, sometimes you can only laugh. Just got off the phone with my cousin who saw this post and said he could explain a few things. I asked him why he was on Reddit instead of school. He asked me why I was on Reddit instead of work, and I said touche. He told me that after my conversation with my mom, she went to his house and talked to my aunt. And here's the deal. Turns out my sister is not only in a relationship with Ben, but 4 months pregnant, which means she and Ben were fucking for longer than I'd even guessed. Apparently, my parents are so adamant that I forgive her because I'm already ruining their expectation of their first grandchild. Oh, God for fucking bid. She ruins your expectations for your first grandchild. She just got cheated on by her sister. I genuinely don't think it could get more narcissistic than this. What about our experience as grandparents? You just got to get over the fact that your sister cheated on you with your boyfriend and now she's pregnant because you're just ruining my grandchild experience. Shut the fuck up. That's right. I'm less important than my stepmom posting ultrasounds to Facebook. This is where we're at. Anyhow, I called out of work sick the rest of the day and I'm going to drink a lot of alcohol. Like, a lot of alcohol, and then start thinking about what the fuck I'm going to do. I can't say that's the healthiest way to deal with this shit, but honestly, girl, if I was in this situation, me too. This is just one of those, like, you sit at a bar and you're like, yo, bartender, you want to hear how fucked up my life is? Shit, chat, if this shit ever happens to me, I might just do it live on stream. Y'all want to hear the fucking juice? I got you. I got you. I'm so worried, y'all. There are so many updates to this. Is this gonna get even worse? Okay, first official post update, October 6, 2021, like I said, about a week after the original post. 2 things to clarify before I update. 1, I didn't have a shitty childhood. The favoritism started when my sister was diagnosed. I moved out soon after and have been pretty independent since then. Not saying that how my parents treated me during those years was a-okay, but I wasn't Cinderella. Number 2, I did not drink myself into oblivion. I had 2 white wine spritzers, but I appreciate the concern from folks. You know, honestly, girl, I feel like you could have done like 4. Like, I'm being so honest here, y'all. I don't drink alcohol like that, but if this happened to me, I low-key might become an alcoholic. Like, that is on some, wow, what a shitty hand. I think like 2 days, bro. 2 days of alcoholism, and then I gotta kick my shit back into gear. That's probably what I would do. Anyhow, the update. I got in touch with my sister and asked her to meet up again at a park, in parentheses, no bill involved. Oh, I think that's because they met up at a dinner or something like that. Okay. I asked her if she was pregnant, and she told me the truth. She said she wanted us to still be in each other's lives and that she wanted me to be in her babies. A Redditor, and I forgot who, I'm sorry, mentioned that she may ask me to be the godmother, and that person was correct. But as many of you pointed out, if I didn't cut her off, I'd just become her bank and daycare employee. So I told her I could no longer be in her life, and I left her crying on a park bench and felt like the shittiest person in the world. OP therapy, please. ASAP Rocky. Like, if my sibling told me that they were having a baby with my ex, who they cheated on with for 4 months, and then just to fucking salt the wound, not even salt it, bro, put their fingers in it and rip that shit open. Hey, you want to be the godfather? Bro, you would send me on the most insane grippy sock vacation of my life. I think I would just go crazy right there. I would be like, this is a simulation, we're all AI. And then you'd have to put me on meds for the rest of my life. I would have a monumental crash out. I emailed my parents and told them how betrayed I felt and that I'd be cutting off contact with them. Hell yes, let's go. To my stepmom's credit, she apologized. What? She explained that she never thought my sister would live to have kids and that she let her emotion over that get the better of her. Understandable. My dad said nothing, which is honestly what sucked the worst about all of this. Wow, that was not in my bingo card for this story. Stepmother taking accountability for her actions. That's insane. Yeah, you guys are like saying in chat, W stepmom. I mean, I still don't think she's W because we're here. We got to this point. But like, wow. Ben tried messaging me from a burner account for the first time since the breakup, but I blocked him without reading it. I didn't go nuclear and post the story to Facebook as some suggested, but I sent an email to the extended family members who I care about. I explained the situation and how I'd be distancing myself from the family. Some have made it an us versus them situation, and as much as I appreciate the support, feeling like I'm some valiant battle just makes me more tired. So I haven't been talking to much of anyone in my family. I feel lonely and crappy, but I think I made the right decision. Anyhow, not the most exciting update in the world, but hopefully everyone knows that I'm not dead. I do really appreciate the support I've gotten. It made me smile during a really shitty time. And hey, if anyone in greater Boston area wants an extra guest at Thanksgiving, let me know. Oh my God. And then we have way more updates, chat. When is the newest one? May 19th, 2024. Oh my God. This is about to be dummy thick. I don't even know what to say. I think I said it all. This is just some truly evil shit, chat. May none of this ever happen to any of y'all, all right? I hope everybody listening to this is like, wow, that's some crazy shit. That I relate to that in no way, shape, or form. And if you don't feel that way, if you can relate to it, I'm so sorry. This world is evil sometimes. Okay, so we have a small update, November 24th, 2021, about a month and a half after the first update. I'm spending Thanksgiving with a friend and her family, so I won't be alone. Thanks to everyone who offered to host me. It was so sweet. I'm still not in touch with my family, but I know that Ben and my sister are having problems. I know this because he showed up at my place and cried for 3 hours. That's fucking embarrassing, man. Like, if you're gonna cheat on someone, at least have the balls to commit to the bit. Like, hey, man, you fucked it up. Leave her alone. You did her so ungodly dirty. And now you're gonna try to cry to her because the relationship that you chose over your relationship with her is falling apart? Hey, man, nut the fuck up. Sleep in the bed that you made, pussy. I'm going to New Mexico in April. Planning is underway. Happy Thanksgiving to those who celebrate. All right, so okay, wait. I mean, there's not much to react to in this paragraph, but I just read the title of the next update, and it's, I think my old ex sabotaged my relationship with my new ex. Y'all, we just gotta fucking read this. What the hell? Wait, and this one's posted January 1st, 2022. What? Wait, did you get in a relationship in this time? I mean, girl, I can't speak for you, but I don't know if that's super healthy. To make a long story short, my 26 female breakup last summer with my ex was volcanic. He's now expecting a baby with my stepsister within the next 6 weeks or so. Since I found out about the pregnancy, he's tried to get in touch with me 6 times through email, text, and burner accounts. Has tried to get mutual friends to talk to me for him, and showed up to my place once. The latter was the only time I humored him. He told me he was sorry, he loves me, he doesn't want to be with my stepsister and wants to get back together with me. I told him tough titties. He made his bed, and now he's got to lay in it with her. Good shit, OP. Good shit. We love to hear it. I haven't dated much since July because of my life's implosion. Am I getting the years wrong? No, this is like, what do you mean? Oh, we were serious until July when I walked into my bedroom and saw him fucking my sister. Okay, so this didn't happen September. This happened July. She just wrote about it end of September. Got it. Okay. So it's been a little bit longer than I originally thought it had been. I haven't dated much since July because of my life's implosion, but in November, a friend from college messaged me out of the blue. We hadn't talked in a long time. He, 27 male, referred to as X2 for the rest of the post, and X1 were good friends, but had a falling out over something fantasy football related the year after we graduated and I stopped talking to him out of solidarity or whatever. Y'all, is it bad that I would get an insane ick from somebody if they had a falling out with their friend over something as fucking stupid as fantasy football? Is that a terrible thing for me to say? Like, that's laughable. Yeah, bro, he just wouldn't fucking trade me Patrick Mahomes. I was offering him Josh Allen and some other fucking random guy that I don't know. Those are like the only names I know off the top of my head because I don't watch football. I can't believe he would do that. That just soured our friendship, and now I don't talk to him. Like, shut the actual fuck up, bro. I'm sorry, that's so pathetic. Anyhow, we go on a date, we click, we go on a few more dates, we become exclusive in early December. I was feeling really hopeful about this until this morning. I was supposed to meet with X2 at a New Year's party last night. He got there before I left the house and texted me saying that X1 was at the party and asked whether I still wanted to come. I declined and went to another friend's house and had a pretty damn good time. I tried calling X2 at midnight, but he didn't pick up. I didn't think much about it. Anyhow, I go to bed late, and when I wake up this morning, I have a message from X2 saying we're done. I couldn't even respond because he blocked me everywhere. I talked to a friend who was at the party the exes were at last night, and he said the two of them had spent a good chunk of time chatting with each other, but he didn't know what they were talking about. I'm not close with anyone else who was at the party, so I don't really have anyone else to ask. Like, okay, it was a 2-month-old relationship. I'm sad, but I'm not bereft. But the paranoid part of my mind is really concerned that X1 said something that resulted in X2 becoming X2. X2 has made it abundantly apparent that he doesn't want to talk to me again, and I don't want to push that boundary. But I'm so confused. I could contact X1, but I got the feeling that will open a floodgate of drama. I could also try talking to other mutual friends to see if they've heard anything, but I also don't really want to spread this as a rumor if it wasn't true. I don't know, I'm at a loss. Any advice here? I'm spiraling thinking that my ex is going to try to ruin every relationship I have for the rest of my life. I mean, aren't you moving away in like 4 months? Does it really matter? Like, you'll be gone. I don't know. I mean, girl, don't get me wrong. This fucking sucks. Do you really want to be with a pussy who has one conversation with a guy and then the way that he reacts to it is not ask you about the things that was said in that conversation, but immediately breaks things off and blocks you? Like, that right there would be an insane ick for me. Like, oh, hey, you didn't even give me a chance to defend myself. You immediately trusted somebody else rather than like a person that you're trying to build a relationship with. It's not a really great partner. Those are not qualities of somebody that you want to be with long term. That just sounds like a baby back bitch. Honestly, I feel like your ex did you a favor. Like, if bro is gonna act this immature, not even give you the opportunity to give your side, he's probably gonna do that in other aspects of your life. Typical man trusting another man over a woman that they're actually close with. That's what a real man would do. A real man would hear that shit and go to his partner immediately, by the way, and have a conversation with him. I don't know what the fuck is going on in Boston, but you gotta get the hell up out of there. Dippity-doo-dah. Bad look for the Bostonites, chat. Bro, their next post is, I'm beginning to think that there's something wrong with me. Oh my god. About 2 weeks after the last post, too. Oh my god. What did he say? My last 2 partners have cheated on me. The first was a very serious relationship. We lived together, we talked about marriage and buying a house. He even took 2 pictures of us as kids and photoshopped them together to show what our kids might look like one day. The result was terrifying but hilarious, and I had it as background on my phone for a month. Damn, and then he did that with your sister. I walked in on him sleeping with my stepsister. Now she's pregnant, due in the near future, and he's with her. I know he's not happy. I know he regrets what he did. I know that he loved me. And none of that stopped him from fucking my stepsister in our bed. I spent so long now being upset at her and writing him off as just a bad decision that I wasted time on, but now I find myself mourning what we had. My stepsister and I grew up together and have loved each other most of our lives, so it felt like that was the betrayal. But he and I chose each other. Out of all the people on the earth, we looked each other in the eyes, committed to each other, and made the promise to stay faithful. And he lied. And he lied, and he lied, and he lied. And he let me go on loving him while he lied. But then a few months ago, another guy comes in my life, and for the first time in ages, I felt hopeful. I thought to myself that maybe I could actually move on and live my life. I wasn't in love with him, but he was the kind of man I thought I could fall in love with. We were exclusive for about a month. Before we made the decision to be exclusive, I told him everything that happened with my first ex, and told him that I could never be with another cheater. I wake up on New Year's Day to a text saying we're done. When I tried to get in touch, I found out he'd blocked me everywhere. Turns out, he met someone at a New Year's party and hooked up with her. Instead of telling me, he just blocked me everywhere and sent a lackey to message me a few weeks later with the real story and a half-assed apology. I want to be angry, and maybe a part of me is. But as I'm sitting here, I'm just thinking, what if it's me? What if I'm just not lovable? What if it's never going to happen for me? The thing is, I've been a pretty confident person. I went through bullshit as a kid, but I got through it and grew stronger. I'm pretty good looking, in parentheses, though I've admittedly put on a little weight in the past couple of weeks. I've been told that I'm fun, I hold down a good job and make decent money. I also live my life according to my values. I've always put my family and partner first because that's just how I believed it should be done, and I thought that I would be prioritized in return. I've lost most of my family because they'd rather have my stepsister's baby in their life than me. My friends have been fair weather for the most part, and I know that I'm a laughingstock in my friend group as much as they pretend to pity me to my face. Okay, wait, is that like verified? Like, you know for a fact that they're laughing at you? Because then get the fuck out. Or is this anxiety? Like, is this you spiraling? I would like that clarification. I feel the little spark I've always had fading. I don't chime in on conversations anymore. I've stopped putting on cute clothes when I go out. I don't plan anything, so I don't have anything to be disappointed about. Soon I'll be the same age as my mom was when she died. Damn. This is literally a series of unfortunate events. Just one mentally taxing thing after another, bro. I never knew her, but I've always loved her, thinking of her watching over me. I don't remember the funeral, but it was one of those funerals where there wasn't a dry eye in the house. She lit up a room. People tell me she was a good woman. In my worst moments, I wonder what it would be like if I died right now. Would anyone cry? Would anyone care? Would anyone even come? Anyhow, sorry for writing a novella. Just not sure what to do anymore and who to talk to. If you read this, thank you. I mean, shit, bro. Like, this is the common thing that I feel like a lot of girls go down, which is like, there's something wrong with me, not like there's something wrong with the fuckstick men that you've been dating. Like, that's the real issue here. And like, maybe there's an argument of like, hey, maybe your criteria for choosing partners isn't the best, but like, nothing is OP's fault. OP is not unlovable. She just has really chosen one after the other two very bad men. And I don't know if there were signs. I don't know if like there was some naivete there. I'm not even gonna like make those assumptions, but like I hate that there is this narrative for girls, which is like they get done dirty and then the conclusion that they come to is like, I'm unlovable. It's never like that. Like, you really just need somebody who is not going to think with their dick. And unfortunately, that's how a lot of guys think. It's stupid. It sucks. That's not how it should be, but that's just how a lot of guys think. They think with their fucking dick. There's nothing wrong with OP. OP's definitely a catch with all the things that they describe. They just need to like, I don't know if even get lucky is the right way to put it. I'm a firm believer, chat, in like, if you see the same patterns in your dating life, it might be you following the patterns of like who you're dating. So like, for example, myself in college, I dated a lot of very emotionally unavailable women. Girls who would rope me in, but then be like, oh, like I'm anxious, I can't be in a relationship, whatever. And that just kept happening to me. And like, luckily I didn't come out of the conclusion of like, I'm unlovable. The conclusion that I came out with was, oh, I am choosing the absolute wrong women. I am choosing the women who are bad for me, and I need to be better about when a girl goes, oh, I'm super anxious about being in a relationship with you. You don't go, oh, well, I'll stick around until they inevitably shit on me. You go, oh, well, fuck you. If you don't want to be with me, then you don't understand how valuable I am. But I know that's super hard, like especially getting dogged one after the other the way that OP has in all of these updates and the posts is just unfathomable. All I can really recommend is like get some therapy and like maybe push up your New Mexico move, bro. Like, I think being in a completely new area with new people, with new experiences is like one of the best things you can do to just hit the reset button on life. Like, if you're getting shit on in Boston, get the fuck out of there. Maybe it's just the fucking men in Boston suck dick. Go find you a man in New Mexico, girl. Just evil, man. Damn, we still got more updates in this bitch chat. OP needs a break from dating, get therapy. I actually agree with that heavily, Penwings. Like, listen, I'm not gonna tell you how to live your life, girl, and I totally understand like that whole like getting under somebody helps you get over somebody. And I don't really think getting under somebody and then getting in a committed relationship with them is the right answer. I do understand like the confidence boost, like being reminded that you're wanted and that you still got it. Like, I do understand that, but like, I don't know, girl, you were in a 3-year-long relationship where the guy cheated on you with your stepsister. I don't think the answer there is to get into a relationship like what, 3 or 4 months later. Also, just to point out, because I'm a big believer of birds of a feather flock together, you also got together with one of your ex's friends or old friends. So like, I am a firm believer, like you share values with the people you associate with. So like, if someone associates with somebody who's willing to cheat and they're good friends with them, they probably heard them speak in a way that a cheater would or say things that a cheater would. They're probably in that same boat. I'm curious, y'all. We got a bunch of little updates here. I kind of want to cook through them just to see where OP's going with this. The doom and gloom update was on January 16th, 2022. The next update is May 30th, 2022. Like 5 months later. And then on top of that, after OP is supposedly supposed to move to New Mexico. Long story short, I don't have much to update. I didn't end up moving to New Mexico because I conveniently got COVID the week before I was supposed to go. The baby was had, but I have no contact with the baby or their parents. I've done a pretty good job of insulating myself from news about them / the rest of my family. My life is pretty much the same as it was. So sorry to the folks who are hoping I have some kind of happy ending to slap onto all of this. Things are improving just because time barrels on, and you can grow numb to most anything given enough time and distance. But I have had no grand revelations, have not met the love of my life, nor had elaborate revenge on those who have wronged me. I'm going to Europe for the first time in October, though, so that's exciting. I will say this, while I appreciate the solidarity and sometimes colorful language used to describe my sister and Ben in my DMs, I wholeheartedly ask everyone reading this to not waste their energy on hating them. They're now parents to a newborn, and regardless of the things they've done in the past, I hope they can come together as a happy family and raise their child in a loving, healthy home. I mean, me personally, I hope that kid grows up and hates the parents, but hey, you know what? Maybe I'm a bad person for that. OP must just be a better person than me, because fuck that. Hating them doesn't do anything for anyone, including ourselves, in the long run. Anyhow, that's the non-update update. I promise that if I meet the love of my life at the top of the Eiffel Tower, or more likely stuffing my face with waffles in Bruges, I will post another update. Until then, you can assume that I am living, trying my best, and I'm very appreciative of all the people out there in the world who have read this saga and reached out with support, even if I have not had the energy to respond to everyone. The one thing that OP has not mentioned in anything is like, OP, are you getting therapy? Like, please tell me you're getting therapy. That's the only thing I want reassured here. Okay, and there's one more update in the comments. Hi, just wanted to give a more recent, less depressing update. I am currently in my hotel room in Paris, eating a creme brulee in bed, reading a romance novel, and I'm about to go to sleep early. All is well. And that is obviously in October when they go on this trip to Europe. I mean, that doesn't sound too bad. So like nothing crazy in those updates. The next update's pretty long, y'all, so we'll read that here in a second, but I do think it's one of those things where you just kind of gotta let time do its thing. But I don't know, man, it kind of scares me that they're not moving away. Like, I know how it is, y'all, when you like go through a breakup and you still have to like drive past the restaurants you used to go to, or you have to drive past where they lived, or you have to get reminded of like stuff in the area. Like, that shit hurts. I think like OP has endured so much hurt, they gotta get out of there, even if it's just the next state over, like something that isn't a constant reminder. Because like, I'm a firm believer the constant reminders are what cause you to have bad days. Like, if you're still following them on social media, seeing their stories, seeing their posts, like that is just only a constant reminder for you to think about that relationship and the good things, even though I'm sure there are plenty of bad things, but you never think of the bad things. You can be reminded of all the good things over and over and over again, and that's never good to dwell on. Like, you almost need to like go a week or two and be like, oh, I haven't thought of this person, to like start healing. But that's a lot harder when there are tons and tons of reminders of them. Update titled Howdy, It's Been a While, posted on September 9th, 2023. So almost a year since the last tiny update here of OP being in Europe. It's been a minute, but I still get messages from folks asking how I've been, and I'm up too early and a little bored, so I thought I'd give you the answer. I'm good. Made a lot of really positive changes in my life, and I'm in a much better place physically and mentally than I was last year. To answer some specific questions, no, I'm not in contact with my family. The last straw was in spring 2022. My dad emailed me to ask if we could get lunch and talk. Having always harbored the secret and foolish hope that we'd reconcile and go back to normal, I agreed. I arrived at the restaurant and waited 2 hours. When my server gave me a free dessert on the house with a pitying look, I called it and went home. Later, I got an email from my stepmom, which I'm sure was full of excuses, but I didn't read it. That's so evil of the dad. Holy shit. But the really positive outcome of that was that it made me realize that I needed to move far away and not come back. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Which I did. I'd always been really scared to move away from my family, but since I don't have one anymore, I ended up somewhat spontaneously moving halfway across the country. The spontaneous move was stressful and expensive, but I can now say that moving was one of the best decisions of my life. I ended up reconnecting with an old friend and falling in with her friend group, who are the loveliest people. I've never felt safer or more supported, and I feel so lucky to have them in my life, and it's less humid here. That's a big win. One of our friends is a counselor who helped me find a therapist that I really click with. Oh, thank God, the other thing I wanted an answer to. And it took a few tries, and a therapist who didn't immediately want to do CBT with me, which just isn't my thing. But I found someone I really connect with. I'm now doing IFS therapy, and it has really changed my relationship with myself and helped me realize all of the hurt and pain I've been holding on to and start to heal. So, y'all were right, and I needed to go to therapy. Give yourselves a pat on the back for that one. I also got diagnosed with depression and I'm taking medication for that. It was a bit hard to stomach as someone who always saw her value as being the happy person who takes care of everyone all the time. But it turns out that sometimes when needs aren't met as a kid, you end up becoming the happy person who takes care of everyone all the time because you're afraid that if you show the slightest bit of unhappiness, you won't be loved anymore. And that's fucked up. I also met a guy, and I know you're all saying, OP, no, your decision-making around men cannot be trusted. But I assure you that he's different. Instead of rolling his eyes when I'm feeling off, he'll either just quietly lay on the couch with me or go for a walk, or he'll say really dirty things to me in his spot-on Kermit the Frog voice until I'm laughing so hard I can't focus on anything else. And bonus, he's far too busy painting D&D minis to find the time to cheat on me, so I'm not even worried about that. I did have to invest in a somewhat elaborate Renaissance fair costume, which is not something I had imagined for myself, but I'm having a great time. I'm gonna marry this dude someday. As for Ben and my sister, as far as I know, they're still together. Every so often, he tries to get in touch with some manner of burner account, but I ignore all of it. I'm still bummed that I'm not going to be part of my nibbling's life, and I do, honestly, still really miss my family. But I know this is right for me. Sorry I don't have any salacious info on them, since I know you're all really here to hear about their karmic downfall or whatever. But on my end, things are good. Better than they were before I found out I was being cheated on. My current life is built on real contentment, not fear disguised as shallow happiness. It's not perfect and I have a lot of problems that I'm working through, but I'm proud of myself and I think my mom would be proud too. Aw. So that's the update. I think it's going to be my last one, at least on this account. Thanks Reddit for supporting me and making me smile through some of the worst, weirdest points in my life. May you too be blessed with internet strangers who cheer you on and offer to sabotage the lives of people who do you wrong. That's me. Okay, cool. Yeah, girl, like, go with the nerd. Like, that's the one thing I take pride in, chat. I'm like, my partner is gonna feel so secure because when I'm not hanging out with them, all I'm gonna want to do is work. Like, I don't want to party. I don't want to go out. I don't want to do shit. I just want to stay inside and work and then hang out with the person I love. Like, is that too much to ask? Like, hell yeah. All right, good for you, OP. I mean, not to suck my own dick, but she did everything that I was saying she should do. So clearly I'm the best at advice. I'm just playing. But like I said, y'all, like, therapy is good. Moving away is good. I'm really glad that OP is making leaps and bounds in therapy. I think that's probably the biggest needle mover there out of all of those. Moral of the story, data nerd. I agree with you, Katana. Okay, so this comment here is just someone honestly being overly parasocial, basically being like, we need more info. But honestly, girl, like, don't get me wrong. Like, I get it. I always want the drama, but like, this girl wrote us a fucking novel. This girl put together what Samantha Fullnecky wishes she could put together, girl. Let her live. She's given us so much info. But that being said, there is a tiny little update on May 19th, 2024, about like 6 to 8 months after the update we just read, that just says, I'm engaged. OP got engaged to her nerd. And then apparently there was a comment telling her not to contact her family. OOP replied to that saying wasn't planning to, but they already found out because the internet is a menace. My dad's apparently having a total hissy fit because my fiance didn't ask his permission. Oh, well, sucks to suck, I suppose. Hey, maybe you shouldn't be worried about getting permission and be worried about showing up to the reconciliation dinner that you set with your daughter and then bailed on. And also didn't give her the heads up that you were gonna bail on it, by the way. Made her sit there for 2 hours. What a piece of shit, bro. I hope someone eggs his house. I hope someone keys his car. I hope both sides of his pillow are slightly too warm every night that he sleeps. What is that fucking song by Chance the Rapper and Scooter Braun, where he just like goes on an absolute fucking tirade, just being like, I hope all these little shitty things happen to you because you're a shit person. Baby Blue, I hope all that shit happens to the dad.